Hey everyone, it's Abby. It's Friday, and we're coming to you live from Augusoft. Today, we're here with our resident workforce development expert and senior product advisor, Angela DeVaun, who has joined us today. Thank you so much, Angela.
My pleasure.
Today, we'll be discussing the benefits of workforce development because we are living in an ever-changing world, and regardless of your current life situation, being unemployed, employed, what have you, workforce development has plenty of benefits. So Angela, if you would like to provide us with some tips and benefits, that would be great.
Absolutely. I'd love to. So thanks for having me on your show today, Abby. So workforce development, I got to tell you, I never even heard of workforce development until I started working in it. And that was back in 2012. And I was very fortunate to be hired as part of the TACT grant. So I don't know if you remember, but back in the day when the Great Recession and Obama started talking about retraining factory workers who had been laid off or other people who had lost their job, and retraining them to get them a job in a high demand field, such as IT or healthcare or whatever. So the federal government gave a lot of grants to community colleges, and the Virginia Community College System was one of those recipients, and came up with this program in order to enroll people in training, had the funding to pay for it, and then connect them to jobs. So that was kind of my introduction to workforce, which is an incredible thing because it really does offer people who need to either upskill or need to learn skills or just want to change careers. It's a really great pathway to get new learning, new skills that will actually lead to either a credential that's nationally recognized and then hopefully to a job. So it was an exciting time back then, and I was so fortunate to be a part of that. One of the things that I think is actually super cool, and this is my truly dorky side coming out, but what I love about workforce development, I mean, not only is could actually be life-changing. I mean, so when you can move somebody who's working at, a $7 an hour job to a job where they're making, family sustaining wages, that in and of itself is incredible. But for me, the really cool part about it is that it's kind of a small cog in the wheel of the bigger picture, because when you have people that have skills, you attract companies to your state. So it's part of the economic development piece. And when companies come to your state, well, then that's a whole nother tax base, right? And employment opportunities. So then those dollars turn into like better schools or parks and rec or more things for people to do, like baseball stadiums or museums or whatever it is. So it becomes like your community becomes like a better place to live. There are better opportunities, better schools, it's all good. So it's kind of that rising tide lifts all boats philosophy. And that for me was like the super cool part of being part of workforce development. And that's why I'm such a champion of it now.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, I don't know about everybody, but I for one, have definitely had experience with personal workforce development. I used to be a receptionist at a hair salon in Chicago, making $13 an hour. Never thought that I would be working in an office setting, which I have now been doing for like the last, 10 to 12 years of my life. Not trying to give away my age or anything. But yes,
your secret's safe with me.
But yeah, I really appreciate, being able, given those opportunities to learn those skills and grow my career and do things, that I never thought I would.
And I think that's such an important thing for people to have opportunities to keep learning, because the world of work does change. And that whole thing about, you knew what you were going to be when you grew up, you did whatever the training was, and whatever the education was, you got a job in that, and then you worked that job until you're retired, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't happen anymore. And so actually people, change jobs sometimes every like 2 to 3 years. And then they change career fields, or they grow in different opportunities, or, and so, which I think is exciting and wonderful. It can also be a little nerve-wracking, but I think, community colleges and universities really offer a lifeline to people who are looking to do something different, and then can enroll in these continuing education programs that make a difference in people's lives,
Yes,
So I
absolutely.
think that's super cool when people are lifelong learners.
Yes, and that is part of, what we do at Augusoft, promote lifelong learning and continuing education.
Absolutely, absolutely. In fact, we used Lumens, our software, at the Virginia Community College system to enroll people, and figure out, like what our outcomes are, and what we need to keep offering more of, and what was really helpful. And so it was a life-changing game, and it really was one of the tools that help us offer the amount of training that we did for people, offering also at the reduced prices that we did. I mean, it really kind of was a tool in that whole program. And I think Virginia ended up offering like 50,000 credentials or something. I mean, it made a huge difference. And Lumens was a part of that. And I also think that's kind of super cool.
Yeah, that is awesome. And one other point I wanted to touch on just regarding workforce development.
Mhm.
I don't know about you based in Virginia, but here in Minnesota, we have a really good unemployment program. And obviously there's, several people experiencing that right now.
Mhm.
Who offer, free classes for workforce development, or to get a certificate in, a certain project management certificate or whatever it might be. So it's nice that they do that. And it's definitely good to take advantage of those offerings if you are unfortunately in an unfortunate situation. So appreciative of that.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I have to say, Minnesota has some awesome programs when it comes to providing that social safety net. I think Virginia's isn't quite as robust, but if you know where to go, so your unemployment office, or getting in touch with, our workforce development, which is our community college, there's often places where you can go to get the help that you need, but you just need to know where to look for it.
Yes, exactly.
So.
Well, awesome. Thank you for sharing. Let's move into something a little bit more fun to wrap up our morning here.
Okay.
You're a tennis enthusiast. What's your favorite thing? Tell me a little bit about it.
So I've been playing tennis. I think I first picked up a racket when I was about 5, just because my dad would play and my mom probably wanted a break. So he would take us out to the court. And that's, I don't want you to misinterpret that. Just because I've been playing for a long time doesn't mean I'm any good, but I do enjoy it. And what's really been fun lately is that my daughter, who is now 15, she's starting to play too. And so, in fact, last night we met my sister and her daughter, my niece, and the 4 of us, just kind of hit around and had a really good time. And what I like about tennis is that it's also a lifelong sport, just like learning. And for me, especially in this, stressful time that we're living in, it's just a good release. I mean, not only is it exercise, but I have to focus. And so when I'm focusing on, hitting the ball where I want, or trying to get that point, or just having fun, I'm not really thinking about anything else. So I think it's just a good overall way to relax, have
Take your
fun,
mind off of
get outside. Yeah, I mean, it just
things.
really is. And then when I kind of come out of the trance, like you do if you're watching like a really good TV show or a movie or something, and you're really into it and you see the characters, then I just like, oh, wow, I didn't think about, COVID or unemployment or X, Y, and Z that I had to do or whatever, it's just such a good release that way. So it's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed watching the US Open. So I meant to record Osaka and Jen Brady playing last night, and somehow or another I missed that button and didn't get it. But I did stay up and watch Serena and Azarenka play last night. Unfortunately, Serena lost, but I have to say Azarenka was spot on. I mean, she deserved to win last night. It was great. So I'm looking forward to the championship. Oh, and I have to put in one plug for my favorite tennis player, who is Novak Djokovic. He was disqualified, and while I'm not disputing that, I was really disappointed that that happened, because I so enjoy watching him play. He's just so good.
But he'll be able to, he was just disqualified this year, right? Like he'll be able to play.
Yeah, it was just this tournament.
Okay.
So he made a mistake, and the rules are the rules, and
Yeah.
gotta live with those consequences. I don't think he intended to hurt anybody, but he
Right.
did. Anyway, so yeah, so I think he's just gonna, wrapped up here, and I think the French Open is next. So
Okay.
we'll see him then. But yeah, that was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
That
I'm
stuff
on to rooting for Dominic Thiem. We'll see how he does. I assume he's still in it. I haven't seen it.
Well, I will go ahead and root for him too if I end up watching the championship, which is highly unlikely, but you never know. I could develop a a love for tennis in the next couple hours.
Oh yeah, next time I'm up there in Minneapolis, we should, take our rackets and go play.
Maybe we can make that a team bonding event.
There you go. That's what we need to do.
Yes. Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Angela. And thanks everybody for watching us today. If you have any questions for Angela or anyone at Augusoft, feel free to leave a comment below or send us an email at info@augusoft.net, and we will respond as quickly as possible. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great, safe weekend, and we will see you back here next Friday.
Thanks, Abby. Bye.
Bye.